Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Knit Witch podcast. My name is Katie and I am the Knit Witch. This is a podcast where I just tell you all about the making that I've been doing over the past however long it's been since I've recorded. Today is another beautiful spring day here in Rhode Island. It's about 11 a.m. It's already 50 degrees and I think we might actually hit the 60s today, which is very exciting. It is overcast, so I hope that lighting is alright for you guys. I know sometimes the reflection on my glasses, it annoys me, so I'm sure it annoys you. But I unless I'm like staring at myself the whole time, I don't notice it. So let's just dive into the knitting podcast. I do have the windows open. Like I said, it's a very nice day, so if the sound of birds and nature bothers you, I am so sorry, but I do have the windows open. I actually think this might be a shorter episode, and watch, it's gonna be like 45 minutes to an hour, but I actually don't have that much knitting content to share with you today because my sister was in town last week, and so I didn't necessarily have that much knitting time. Like, I had time to work on like super vanilla things, but as you'll see, knitting content is light, but we'll just jump right in and then we can get to like all of the fun gossipy chit chat stuff afterwards. So I am vastly unprepared. I didn't even open my bag, so let's start by doing that. And we are going to start with finished objects. That's just what I usually do. So the first, I'm like rooting through my bag, so I'm sorry, I'm distracting myself. The first finished object that I have to share with you is the blue and orange socks that I was knitting for my boyfriend. I did finish those pretty soon after that last podcast episode, I believe. And I gave them to him, and he is wearing them, or they're at his house. I'm not sure which. I'm sure he's wearing them. So I don't have them with me to show you guys, but I can insert pictures because I did take finished object pictures for, you know, the Ravelry product page. That is, oh my goodness, what an excellent segue. I didn't even think of this. Those socks are actually knit in the pattern that I just released on Friday. So on Friday, I released my broken rib or garter rib sock pattern. It is available on Ravelry. The price is set to $3, but it's a pay what you can type of pricing scale. So there are two different discount codes. One gives you $2 off and one gives you the pattern for free. So you could either pay $3, $1, or nothing. If you want to take a look at the pattern, it is available in 3 sizes. It is a broken rib sock pattern, if the name was not indicative of that. It's a broken rib sock pattern knit from the toe up with a heel flap and gusset. Available in 3 sizes, like I said, but I am always willing to grade more sizes in either direction if you want to knit the pattern but you don't fit into the 3 sizes that I've already created. I will just make another size for you. No worries. So those socks were knit in that pattern. I dyed the yarn specifically for him because he requested something blue and orange, and so I did just that. Knitted up in that pattern that I just talked about. And I mean, I don't like them, but they're for him, so it doesn't matter. I personally think the yarn micro striping is too busy for that stitch pattern. He loves them. He thinks they're the coolest thing. They're like mid-calf height socks, and he's like, I can't wait to wear these with my shorts so I can show everyone. I was like, you do you, my little fashionista. So that's the first finished object that I have to show you. The second finished object I also don't have. What a stinking surprise. It's actually a hat that I knit for my sister while she was here. So a couple years ago now, I knit her and my mom headbands, like knitted, you know, cabled fisherman's rib headbands. Knit them headbands for Christmas because both of them for some reason prefer headbands to hats. I think they're just, you know, girly girls and they don't like to mess up their hair. But oh, speaking of hats, Mussel Faker. We'll get into that later. Both of them just prefer a headband to a hat to, like, you know, keep their ears warm. So I knit my sister like a camo colored one, like brown and green and gray, like 3 strands held together. Knit her a camo colored one, and then I knit my mom like very chic, like silver, cream, taupe. Yeah, I knit her some in those colors because, you know, the vibe. So anyways, my sister loved her camo headband, and she is just, you know, I don't want to talk bad about her because I love her to death. She is very scatterbrained, and so like if she puts something down and doesn't make a mental note that she put it down, it's just like in the ether, like it's gone. She is, you know. So she came home for her birthday, and yeah, she was here for either a week or 10 days. She was here for 10 days. She went skiing. She was doing all this stuff like up in northern New England, and she was like, hey sister, how long would it take you to knit me another headband? And I was like, a day? Like, what's up? She was like, I don't want to say I lost it, but I temporarily cannot find the headband you made me. And I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. Like, I'll just knit you another one. And she was like, I'll pay for it, I'll do whatever, like, you don't have to, like, you know. And so I was like, oh yeah, I'll just knit you another one. So she came back from skiing, and I actually started on a hat for her because she was like, it's really cold, because it's kind of funny that we had like a week of like 60-degree weather, and then while she was here it was in the 40s the entire time, and then now that she's gone we're back to 60-degree weather. Kind of funny. But like while she was here, like I said, it was in the 40s as a high, and so it was pretty cold, and I was like, I'm gonna make you a hat. Even though you asked for a headband, I'm gonna make you a hat. So I knit her a hat. I like totally improvised the pattern, which may or may not become a written pattern because I really like what I did. So I knit her a hat, and then when she got back from her skiing trip, I was like, you know, I made mom a bunch of headbands. I'm sure you could just like take one of hers if you wanted a headband instead of a hat. And so my mom was like, well, actually this one's too small for me. And so she just like musical chairs the headband situation. So my sister left with an extra headband and a hat. She got back home, and she instantly sent me a picture and was like, hey, I found my headband. I was like, now you have extra. So I knit her a hat. I'm sure pictures have been floating through the screen this whole time. If not, I just put one in. There you go. So I knit her that hat. I love what I did with the crown decreases. I think it looks so stinking cool. I actually used scrap sock yarn from the socks that I made her, so she almost has like a little bit of a matching set type of vibe going on. Adorable. So that is my second finished object. Little chatty on that one, sorry. And then the third finished object you actually have seen, and it is the socks that I'm about to hold up. So they're so stinking cute. I love them so much. These are socks for a commission for one of my mom's friends' birthday. So her birthday is sometime in April. I want to say the 13th. Don't actually know. Could be sooner. So these are done anyway. But my mom asked me to make her friend some socks for the friend's birthday. I agreed, asked my mom what kind of colors this friend likes, and she said, I don't know. And so I said, okay, and I just did what I wanted to do. So I wanted to do this. So they are some ribbed socks. I'm holding them both, probably a bad idea, whatever. Ribbed socks. I knit them from the toe up, heel flap and gusset, as per usual. So they just got these little cute bitty baby stripies, this like nice light blue speckly background, red heel, more stripies on the foot. Look how stinking good those look. Red toe. So these are stinking adorable. This is also one of my sock patterns. It's called a better ribbed sock. It's available free on Ravelry. When we get into the whips, I will talk a little bit about that some more. Those are all my finished objects. So actually, speaking of the whips that I'm trying to, I forgot where I put them, haha. So actually, we'll just go right into those whips, I think. We're gonna start with these socks, which are for my dad. And I have one done, but the tail is not woven in, so I'm sorry for that. You have to look at my tail. So these are for my dad. This is a yarn mop that I call Swamp Rainbow in my head, because let me hold it up so that you can see, but it's just like a green base, and then it has like literally all of the colors of the rainbow. Let's see if you can see the leg. Because it's a yarn mop, and so it just has a bunch of colors. It looks really cool. My dad is a little bit colorblind, so it was really funny when I was like showing him these socks, and I was like, oh, these are gonna be for you. And he was like, oh, I really like that like green and brown. And I was like, oh, well, it's a rainbow, it has all the colors. And he was like, a rainbow means yellow, and I don't see any yellow. And I was like, well, that's that. So these are a 72 stitch sock. Let me show you my little heel flap because it's so dang cute. You can kind of see the rainbow in there, can't you? So, pardon me, I have a frog in my throat. This is the sole of the foot. You can, like, it's a rainbow, right guys? I'm not crazy. You can see the yellow in there. 72 stitch sock. He really likes a long leg. So I did 70 rounds for the leg and 20 rounds for the cuff. This is how it kind of links back to my Better Rib sock pattern. That pattern's available for free. It's because it's only offered in one size, which is 64 stitches, just because I feel like a ribbed 64 stitch sock, which is very difficult to say, could potentially fit like a vast majority of feet. Just in my experience, it's fit everyone I've ever knit them for. But my dad does have very wide feet, so I knit him a 72 stitch sock. I did some ribbing on the leg, which you can see, just like this column is on both sides. And then for the cuff, I was like, oh, well, I don't want to do a 2x2 ribbed cuff because that's stinking boring. And so I was like, oh, let me like invent some ribbing to go on this cuff. And I like the ribbing so much that I am thinking about grading my Better Rib sock pattern up to a 72 stitch sock as well. So that is in the works. It'll just be like a pattern update. I'm not going to start charging people for it, but I like that ribbing so much that I will write a pattern for it in case people with larger feet want to also knit that pattern, because I like it. Oh, so that was the first sock. Obviously this is a work in progress, and on the second sock I just have a toe. I think I have one round past the toe increases. These are knit on a size US 0. Sorry, I have hair on my ball. Size US 0, 2mm needle, 72 stitches. Yeah, 72 stitches. Yarn base I don't like. So that's that. Looking at my notes. Okay, the only other whip I have for you today is my Mussel Faker. Oh, yeah. That is just so pretty, right? It's just so pretty. I explain this every single episode that I've ever talked about this hat, but just in case you're new, I will explain it again. So this is my version. I just poked myself. This is my version of the Mussel Faker hat, which is a hat patterned by Isolde Teague. The premise of that hat, I'm wearing one today, but I desperately need my hair cut, so I won't be taking it off for you. The premise of that hat is that it's a double-ended hat with 2 crowns, and you can shove one crown inside the other to get a normal hat that is double thick, and put it on and wear it. So this is my version. The reason why I do not follow that pattern is because I don't like the way the crown is shaped in the Mussel Faker hat. So I do different crown increases and decreases. So I have that little like windmill spiral thing, and she has like a box shaped crown, and I say it differently in every episode. So that's a little Easter egg for you. This is very long, covers my entire arm, my elbow's right there. So this is my second Mussel Faker. Look at this yarn though, guys. Look at that. Isn't that so pretty? It's all of these blues and greens, some black and navy and brown in there as well. I love this hat so much. This is the little ball that I have left. I haven't weighed this, but I'm assuming it's between 25 and 30 grams. And so that means I can knit for about 10 more grams on this, because I need 13 grams for the crown decreases. There's a hawk flying over my house. Very beautiful and very large. So this is almost done, which I'm sad because this is like my favorite car ride knitting and movie knitting, because it's just all plain stockinette. I can just like knit in the dark. Don't have to look at it at all. So I'll be sad when this is done, but then I'll just start another one because I have more single skeins that could become hats. So this is probably going to my boyfriend. It has the same stitch counts as the hat I'm wearing, which does have a little too much positive ease for my liking. I've explained this before, but when I was mathing out my stitch counts, I did not remember to include negative ease. So this is a little bit big for me. It fits me right now because, as I mentioned, I desperately need a haircut. My hair is insanely thick. It's aggravatingly thick. And so when it because I have too much of it right now, this hat actually fits me pretty well. There's a little bit, I'm not even stretching it that much. There's a little bit of positive ease that I don't care for. But after a haircut, this would be way too big. Long story long. You might be wondering where my cloud watching sweater is. It's not here because I didn't work on it at all in the last 2 weeks. I'm at a crossroads. So I didn't work on it because, number one, it's a sweater. It's an almost finished sweater. So it's fairly large. And my sister, like I mentioned, was here, so I didn't really want to work on it because that's a lot of effort to put on my lap and knit, and it's in a brioche stitch pattern, so it takes a little bit extra effort to concentrate on. Have to remember which row, because it's a 4-row repeat. I have to remember which row I'm on. Didn't really want to do that while I was chatting with my sister's friends. So socks and hats is what I worked on, and yeah, didn't work on the sweater at all. Like I mentioned, I am at a crossroads with it, so I've been procrastinating because both sleeves are done. I think the body is done, but it might not be done. The length it's at, so Katie, all I need to do is split the stitches onto 2 circular needles so I can try it on, because it's on a 29-inch circular right now, and that can't go over my shoulders, so I can't try it on. So I have to split it into 2 circulars, try it on, see how much more I want to knit the body, and then do that. Knit the body. I ranted about this in a previous episode, but I was I want to use up all my yarn, but I think if I do use up all my yarn, it's gonna make the body too long and then I'll never wear it. So I'm aiming for a slightly cropped, just at the top of my pant line. I don't even know how to describe it because I'm not a fashionista like my boyfriend. So yeah, I'm aiming for a sweater that's has a ton of positive ease and falls right at the top of my pants. But I have to try it on in order to know where that is for me. So that's where I'm at on that. I've just hit pause on that because I'm ugh, I have to put the stitches on 2 circular needles and then I have to put it on my body. Ugh. And I want to be clean when I do it, so have to be freshly showered. You know how your brain just puts up all of these conditions when you don't want to do something. And I just remembered I brought my coffee out here, so I'm gonna have some. Okay, coffeeed and watered. Last thing, guys. Last thing. If you've watched for any length of time, you will probably recognize this. This is the spin that I have been spinning since January. Oh my god. And it's plied. It has been plied. I plied it last night. You can see this is my little end. I did have to ply it back on itself because my 50 grams, my 2 different splits. I am so bad at explaining things. It was a 100-gram braid. I split it into 2 50-gram sections. One was just like slightly off. So I think I had like 8 yards or something more on one. So I had to fold it back, ply it on itself. Blah, 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 blah. But yeah, it's just a low baby 2-ply. Cover my face, because you don't want to see that. You want to see my yarn. So obviously this is still on the spindle. It hasn't been soaked. I don't even know how many yards this is. I'm praying, well, I'm not praying, but I'm hoping that it's more than 200 because I just want it to be. I think I'm getting better. I think I'm improving. There was only like 1 or maybe 2 sections in this where I was like feeling it as I was plying it, and I was like, ooh, definitely overspun my single right there. Like, because if you're a spinner, like, you know what I mean. And this is only my 2nd plied yarn. I know. I'm just like a single spinner because plying, I don't think I mentioned this, plying took me 6 hours. And I was having those mental roadblocks again where, is that a bird or a frog? I don't know, but we're gonna power through. I was having these mental roadblocks again where I totally forgot what I was gonna say. This is kind of, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry about the chirping. And I totally forgot what I was saying about this. We're just gonna carry on, and say that I have to put it on a nitty knotty and then soak it and then count my yardage. Cool, they stopped. Yeah, no idea what the yardage is on this. My 2nd ever plied yarn. Hoping that once, like right now, I would say like that's probably a fingering weight. And I think that when I soak it, it'll probably plump, become like a sport weight. Hoping that I also got more than 200 yards on this, because even though I've been spinning since 2018, I still feel kind of like a newbie. Like, I'm not like a technically correct spinner. And so I just feel like I really squish, that's the word. I feel like I really squish all of the air out of my spins. And so I have a very dense yarn. Not the best. I think I'm improving. This will most likely become a shawl, or part of a shawl. So that is it for my whips. Those are all of the things that I've worked on. And now guess what time it is? It's boyfriend knitting time. So we have a finished object. Let me see which way is correct. It is a lace dishcloth knit by my boyfriend. This is cotton yarn and it has not been blocked, so it's a little crumply. Isn't that so good? That is his 3rd ever FO. His 3rd finished object. Look at that lace. Look at how stinking good that is. I'm so proud of him. So this is, I taught, background, I taught my boyfriend how to knit first week of January. It is now the end of March and he is better than me. Long story short. So that is our finished object for boyfriend knitting. He started another dishcloth a couple nights ago when he was staying over. He started another dishcloth, and then like we both picked out the pattern together, and then I just think the pattern wasn't like very well written, because I don't even know what happened. It was like he was following the pattern and got like halfway through and was like, this doesn't look anything like the picture. And I looked at it and I was like, no, it does not look anything like the picture. And then I was like, show me what you're doing. So he was like walking me through all of his steps, and I was like, no, that's exactly what the directions say to do. So I have no idea. It's just like the pattern image and the pattern description were two completely different things. And so he was like, I don't like what I'm getting. And I was like, I don't like it either. You can rip it out if you want. So he did. So started and frogged a dishcloth where he was just like, what the heck is happening? And I was like, I don't know, dude. You're doing everything right. So we'll have to find another pattern for that cotton yarn that he chose for that dishcloth. It was coming out like so pretty. Like I think it's called Denim. It's from, is it Peaches and Cream? It's the Walmart brand. I think it's Peaches and Cream. So, but it was like so pretty. Like it was like stripes. It was like a navy and then like a periwinkle and then like a seafoam green and then like a beige. Gorgeous. I loved it. And then I was just like, yeah, that written pattern and the photo are not the same. So frogged that. He also has plans, dude. He has got some plans. He wants to make his mom a shawl, and he bravely picked out the wave deck, I think is what it's called. I'm probably gonna insert a pattern photo, that's why I'm holding my hands like this. I think it's by Kate Atherley as well. I know it's from knitty.com, but I think it's by Kate Atherley. I could be super wrong. Wave deck shawl, like all over lace, and he wants to knit that for his mom. And so I ordered him some yarn and he's gonna attempt to knit that. He also got some Chowgu needles because he was just using, I think it's Susan Bates, like whatever the generic like Michaels needles are. Pretty sure Susan Bates. And I think the quality has gone downhill because I still have my Susan Bates needles from when I started knitting 17 years ago, and they are in impeccable shape. Like I use Susan Bates needles on my cloud watching sweater, but I've had those needles since probably 2010. His Susan Bates needles are not holding up. And I'm like, dude, you've knit 3 dishcloths. How are your needles falling apart? So anyways, he ordered some Chowgu needles. Super excited about those. Those came in the mail Monday, I think it was. And he like instantly started his dishcloth on the Chowgus, and he was like, oh my god, I love these. They are so worth the $12. Like, he was ranting and raving. He was like, the tips are so sharp. He got like significantly faster at knitting after he started using the Chowgus. He was like, I love these so much. I see why you use them. And I was like, wow. I don't know. I'm just so proud. I'm so proud of him, and I'm so happy that he enjoys it. That's like the biggest thing. I'm just happy that he enjoys it. That's kind of it for the knitting content. We do have some acquisitions. I know. I never have acquisitions because I always just dye my own yarn. But my friend Diana at Painted Fern Fiber Co. released her spring collection. The pre-order's over, so I'm sorry you can't get it anymore. But I pre-ordered a sock set from her, and I'll just show it to you because I'm so excited. Let me take out, I got some Progress Keepers. Look, they're gonna jingle around because I took the foam out of the box, but look at her little, she stamps these boxes herself. So these are just like, you know, the little jewelry boxes that she uses, sorry for the jingling, she uses to hold her stitch marker Progress Keeper things. So I got, ooh, we should do one at a time, right? So number one is just a little, oh my goodness, glass beetle in brown. Love that one. Got the same thing in blue, like a little turquoise beetle. And then the last one, this is from her spring collection. This one is a little leaf. It's so cute. I love this one so much. So those are the Progress Keepers. Those are the Progress Keepers I got from Diana, which is apparently a very hard thing for me to say. Progress Keeper. Okay, now moving on to the yarn. So we got sock set. I have already designed a pattern to use this sock set on. So that is all of the information. Opening act of spring is the blue, like speckly color. It's got these like golden orange speckles and then some like green speckles too. And then obviously the minis coordinate to the color of the speckles. Already have a sock design for these. You will see that soon. And then she's a doll. She sent me an oopsie. This is from her winter collection. This is a DK weight. This is a DK weight. You can see it's just like this teal green base. It's got orange, it's got blue. You can see, so pretty. DK weight, love it. It is like the softest, squishiest yarn I've ever felt. Love that. And then of course I got a project bag because once you see this, my stinking neighbor. Once you see this, you'll understand. This is her cottage garden progress bag. It's stinking adorable, right? I will close the windows right now because my neighbor just started mowing his lawn. So sorry about that. Who needs to mow their lawn that often? We don't even have like grass yet. It's not even really spring yet, so I don't know why you're mowing your lawn. Anyway, so cottage garden, what is this called? Project bag. I wanted to say progress bag. Project bag. It is, look at that. Like, this is the most me fabric I have ever seen. Look at that little cat. He's gonna knock over that planter. Got a little greenhouse, little garden patch, little trees. It is so cute. So I'm so happy I got that. They're one of a kind project bags. So I'm happy I snagged that one. And I got the sock set, and she sent me an extra little oopsie skein because she's a doll. Love her. And then I got the stitch markers. So that is my acquisitions. Drawstring. I know. Excellent. That's my acquisitions. And yeah, the only thing I have left to say is that my spring collection, that was Diana's, my tummy's grumbling. That was Diana's spring collection. My spring collection also launched last week. It was last Wednesday, March 20th. And I showed them all in the last episode, all of the colorways that I have. And they're still available in the shop. That's all I have to say, really. Some people already ordered them, some people loved them, some people have been messaging me about how much they love them. That's kind of all the promotion that I have to give you. People love it. Let the reviews speak for themselves. And yeah, that's kind of it, I think. Now I'm just procrastinating ending the video because I don't really know what to say, but thank you everyone so much for watching. I really appreciate having you here. I love reading all of your comments, your DMs, whatever it is, in any way that you interact with me. I love it. Keep it coming. And I will see you very soon on the next episode of the Knit Witch podcast. And until then, happy making!